Hey folks, Alamandic the Hot Rod Hippie here. This video right here is from SEMA 2019. It is new hot rod parts. And by that I mean parts not just for classic street rod hot rods, but also for modern high performance cars as well. There's a bunch of stuff in here. These are all smaller items I just didn't feel deserved their own dedicated videos, so I'm grouping them together. Let's check it out. SEMA 2019 coverage is brought to you by the fine folks at Trick Tools, high-performance tools for fabricators, and home of the no-junk guarantee. SEMA coverage is also brought to you by the folks at Sunex Tools, high-quality hand tools, shop equipment, and tool storage options at affordable prices. Links in the description down below. Before we dive too deep into this, are you subscribed to this channel? If you're not, hit that button down below. I've got a few more SEMA 2019 videos you don't want to miss that are coming up very soon, and then we'll be back to the regular Hot Rod Hippie content. If you're new around here, that means tool reviews. It means teaching you metal shaping, wiring, custom car building tips and techniques. We're going to check out some shop tours in 2020. We're going to be doing some car feature videos, checking out what people are actually building for themselves in the real world. That's the kind of stuff we do around here, so let's get into this video. Let's start off with a company that I've been known to use quite a bit over the past few years. That is the folks over at Dakota Digital. For the past 5 to 6 years, my go-to choice for gauges for builds has been primarily the Dakota Digital sweep gauges. These are the newer style of gauges. They're not the old digital designs. They have a sweep style gauge. They've been out for years now. But they have their RTX line now. The RTX line is meant to be more retro. It's meant to look a little more classic in vehicles. So if you don't want to have a truly modern, updated look to look like a modern dashboard, you can step it back a few steps. Now they had a few new products on display, but the one that we're going to focus on is their 32 dashboard. 32 Ford is a common and popular street rod, hot rod to build, and folks take parts from 32s and put them into Model A's, Model T's, and various other street rod applications. It comes in an engine turn bezel housing that really gives it that classic look, and you can save the worry of doing something like engine turning for yourself. You've already got that right there in the housing. This gauge has a speedometer, a tachometer, an oil pressure sender, a fuel level sender, and a temperature gauge all built into here. You can hook it up with your turn signal indicators in there, a check engine light if you're running EFI, and various other warning lights that are in there, but you don't see them unless you hook them up and use them. My other favorite thing about the Dakota Digital gauges is the centralized signal box. They are so easy to wire and much cleaner under dash the way I do them anyway. The idea here is you can mount that signal box just about anywhere underneath the dashboard, and you just have to run one wire that runs from the box to the gauge, and you have a much cleaner setup. This is really nice if you're underneath the dashboard and you have to work on your headlight switch or your column wiring, something like that. Gauge wiring can get messy very, very quickly. If you don't have tons of wires, dozens of wires running to your gauge setup, you just have one, that cleans it up so much under a dashboard. This 32 gauge setup, I think it has a really nice classic look. It might end up in some of my future street rod builds. This one here is going for $12.95, and it's a new product from Dakota Digital. Next up, we swung by the folks at the Autometer booth. Now, Autometer actually won a new product award for this one. It is their 12.3-inch digital dashboard. Now, this is a high-resolution LCD screen. Overall, I like what I saw here. I don't generally like digital dashboards. These LCD screen designs, I can see them in some racing applications, but in most street vehicles, they just don't look right to me. This one had a pretty darn nice look. It was obviously trying to simulate the idea of sweep gauges. There are 3 different designs of gauge design that you can actually set it to, so you can set it to different settings. You can adjust the RPM sweep of the tachometer on this thing, so if you have an engine that spins out to 10,000 RPMs, if you have an engine that only spins up to 8,000, you can set that gauge to fit your application and not have a gauge you don't need in there. There are also programmable audible and visual warnings here, so if your oil pressure is dropping, if your voltage is getting down there, anything like that, you can either set it up so it'll set off a buzzer, you can set it so it'll flash up on the screen and tell you that that is happening. A nice little warning setup in here. This also has indicators in there, turn signals, check engine light, all that built into this thing so that you can have that all ready to go. You don't have to add extra stupid little LEDs into your dashboard. They're already built into this gauge setup. They also have a couple of dash bezels too, actual full-on dash setups to fit this thing directly into your vehicle right away, no cutting in or custom making some aluminum piece or anything like that. So the ones they had on display for G-bodies, so your Monte Carlo SS's, your Buick Regals, your Grand Nationals, they have a whole setup for that seemed like a pretty good design to me and fit this gauge right in there. The other one they had on display, the one they actually had a vehicle they are showing this thing in there, was a square body Chevy pickup truck. Now, I think this was a tactical choice on their part because square body Chevy, a G-body, those both have very squared off dashboards. So this rectangular squared gauge didn't look out of place in there. It looked like it was meant to be there, and that was definitely highlighting this product in a positive light. If you're trying to fit this into more of a bubbly, rounded off dashboard, the squared off design of it might not fit your style as much. But those two dash setups that they had, the G-body and square body, they looked pretty nice to me, and they were $100 premium over the regular price of the gauge to get those. The gauge itself is going for $799, which I thought was actually kind of reasonable for everything you're getting into this whole gauge setup and the nice custom look of it. And then again, $899 if you want to get that whole dash setup for a G-body or a square body Chevy. And last up are the folks at Roadster Shop. Now, Roadster Shop makes custom chassis for various vehicle applications. They are bolt-in designs. You order it, you get it, you remove the body from your vehicle, and you put it on a new chassis with minimal fuss. At my day job right now, I have a 55 Chevy we've been building that has a spec chassis from them, which is their budget chassis. And that thing bolted right on. The body bolted onto it, no problem. The only problem I actually did have is for some reason the front frame rail was a little tight, so I had to modify the front bumper mounting. Now, what they had on display that was new is their new ride quality chassis. Now, the ride quality one is meant to obviously have a good, smooth ride. Now, this still gives you an updated suspension geometry design, but the idea here is, unlike the other frames that have polyurethane bushings everywhere, this thing actually has rubber bushings at the pivot points. The whole design of the suspension geometry isn't meant necessarily for full-on handling performance, though it is a, of course, improved design off of original A-arm suspensions, but it is meant for a more ride quality focused design with coilovers and valving and all that is meant to fit to that concept. And of course, you can still step over to the high performance chassis line as well. Now, I asked them about price point and I asked them about what vehicles these ride quality frames are going to be available for. Price point, they said, is somewhere around the price point of the Revo frames, which generally is between $20,000 to $25,000, depending on the way you kit it out. Now, that may sound like a lot, but you've got a lot going on here. And if you try to custom build a frame to meet these specifications, you're going to easily spend that much in time, if not just in materials. As far as availability is concerned, they said they're going to focus on the big body cars right now, the ones that make sense to be a ride quality focused vehicle. Things like your Cadillacs, your full-size Chevy Bel Airs from the 60s, those kinds of things. If you're interested in one of these and you think this might fit a build that you have coming up and it might not be one of those vehicles, hit them up. They can work with you on getting a ride quality chassis underneath your car. Now, the last item is again from Roadster Shop, and that is their Bronco chassis. Now, this is not their first Bronco chassis. They had an independent suspension Bronco chassis before. This is a solid axle design though. It seems like it's aimed a little bit more at a rock crawler type of design, a flexed out design. The idea here is you've got solid axles front and rear with a Dana 44 up front, a Dana 60 out back. Those are both aftermarket housings, full on, meant for off-roading. They are obviously high quality designs from end to end on the axles. You got a 4-link suspension design in here. Those links are the twist type links that will actually allow for pivoting on the links themselves. You got Fox bypass shocks at all corners for the coilover suspension. This thing is high quality from front to back. You can kit it out how you want. There are billet tow hooks on this thing. It looks gorgeous. You can obviously option this out if you're going to put an Atlas transfer case in there, if you're running an NP205, whatever you're doing, get with them and they can really kit this out the way you're going to need it for your off-road build. This thing, of course, carries a price tag that matches that. It's going for about $36,995, something around there, so right under $37,000 US for this full-on chassis. Now, you've got a lot going on here with those full custom axles underneath there. The Fox coilovers are expensive. Everything about this is just understandable that the price is going to creep up there. Now, the only thing that I can say is I used to be into off-roading. That was my thing when I was younger. And to me, $37,000 for this chassis, a Dana 44 up front, kind of felt a little out of place to me. Yeah, I understand that Broncos aren't that big and they aren't that heavy, so you can run slightly lighter axles. You got the Dana 60 out back. I would like to see a Dana 60 up front personally for that price point, but I can kind of understand why they went with the Dana 44 instead. Unlike the other top tier chassis from the folks at Roadster Shop, this is not TIG welded frame, it's a MIG welded frame. I was a little surprised to see that as well. I'm not talking down on this chassis, the thing looks killer, but this is really gonna have to fit a specific type of build. So if that's the build that you're thinking about building, hit them up over at Roadster Shop to check it out. All right, folks, that's gonna do it for this video. There are links in the description down below to everything we talked about that is currently available. Check those links out down there. Obviously, pricing is MSRP. These are the prices that they are throwing out there at me. Those prices are subject to change. So check them out at the links in the description down below. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please go ahead and drop it a like. Let me know in the comments down below. Did anything in this video pique your interest? Are you gonna use it in a build you've got going on? Are you gonna build a Bronco with a $37,000 chassis underneath of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Go ahead and get subscribed to keep up to date with all the SEMA 2019 content and the regular Hot Rod Hippie content. As I said, we're getting back to that very soon. Thanks for coming around, folks.